And so that's why this medieval village we're about to see is full of illegal techniques.
Fascinating. Illegal? Nicht unter meiner Aussicht.
What? Helmut? Not again. It's not illegal in that sense. Helmut?
Hello, I'm Simon Pickard, and this is one of the models I've brought to the show.
So it's a medieval market.
Medieval market town, yeah. I'm hoping people will call it a town more often as it gets a bit bigger.
You've got
middle
plans to expand this.
I hope to again, yeah. This is actually originally a collab, and I've expanded it with the church and things, which you can see in a minute. But the garden gets quite a lot of attention. People love the hair pieces.
Yeah, I just noticed those. That's quite clever. So you got pumpkins and vegetables.
So I try and get a lot of texture into my work. So the roofs are often very popular because of the way that I've created different textures and tones to them. But the buildings themselves, when they look closer, you can see I've used jumper plates to create black beams, so they're actually away from the wall a little bit.
Right.
And then again, the texture just put some extra colour in just to give it a bit of wear and tear. Which
that's just placed on the site, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the brickwork, actually, I have to say, is insane, and it's remarkably complex.
Yeah, it's not overly difficult. It's hard to try and keep it random because you can get settled into patterns and then it looks too uniformed. But they're only using very few pieces and just carefully present them in different ways.
So what are we seeing here? So there's that's a thatched roof, obviously.
Yes, yeah. So obviously, as I expand out, I'm trying to do different type of townhouses and things. So the bigger ones are meant to be reminiscent of a pub or a tavern, those sorts of things. And then you've got smaller houses for different people to do it.
Right.
I do a lot of research, so the buildings aren't based on real places and buildings, but they're fairly accurate for the type of archaeology. Some of them are more research than others. In fact, the weapons, you can see these guys walking along here.
Yeah.
These are all polearm weapons. Now, I don't know when they would have appeared in history, but they're all medieval polearm weapons from one period of history or another.
Right.
So most of my models are usually very researched in that regard, just less so. People love the fact that I managed to get Hagrid in. Hagrid, yeah, he came about because I needed a burly man moving a barrel. So he's not meant to be Hagrid, although obviously children think it's Hogwarts now, or Hogsmeade isn't the town again.
And now you're stuck in Hogwarts.
But I buy a lot of Harry Potter sets because they've got really good figures that are good for mixing and matching for history. And I've ended up with a drawer full of Hagrids, and so I was like, I've got a use for Hagrid, I can do that. I've ended up with others, so as we go around, there's some other little nuggets like that where they just fit into the model as they were.
Actually, I quite like the fact that you use antennas for arrows.
A lot of people like to point out that the Harry Potter wands are for legs for them.
Yeah.
They're actually trapped into place. You see the base of the wand is trapped into the hole of the flower plate.
Right.
And the tip is trapped into the hole of so it's a round plate with a straight path. Yeah, so because it was part of a collab, I don't have a joust, but I'm hoping that I'm bring it back again with a joust in the other buildings next time. But they had a joust, but the collab, I found out the castle wall was this high, and it was actually originally meant to be here, and I added all of this in a rush for the collab just to push their wall far enough away from the town that it looked a bit better. So now, don't quite have all the tournament things to do with it, but it'll get there.
Well, there's a bit of a tournament here.
Yeah, this is a melee, so they weren't trying to kill each other, which some people think they were, but it was a good way of practice, but they would tournament fight, and amazingly, they still do it today. We have these people dress up and they just battle the life out of each other.
But did they do this with real weapons?
Yes, it was real weapons, but they weren't sharp. They were blunted weapons, which is what they still do now. So they weren't trying to, but it was sort of the smaller parts of the tournament. Everyone knows about the joust, but there were lots of other little things like archery and melees.
And it's quite amazing. If you look down at there, you can just see so much. It feels like an actual town, doesn't it?
I was very pleased with my tournament tents as well. I spent a while trying to design them. They're very simple in the end, but really rigid.
Illegal building technique.
So, just heard a child say illegal building techniques, but my entire model's full of illegal building techniques. we're not constrained by the rules of Lego, so
No, there's no such thing as illegal.
Illegal building.
techniques that Lego can't do themselves.
Okay.
Basically, like,
It adds pressure to the parts or could damage them.
Yes, all their rules are based on trying to keep their models safe and their products not from breaking, so they don't get complaints. But I do some models for the DK Lego book, so I have to build sometimes with that mindset. It's very interesting to challenge yourself to do it in different ways. But I do like to push the boundaries of what Lego can do.
I guess especially if you're more free form when you do it yourself, and you can just create things that probably wouldn't be able to be replicated easily. I
did a lot of work on the market itself, and it's really a shame that it's quite hard to see all of the details. But there are lots of different market stalls, and I actually tried to design different ways of doing them, just to give it a bit of variety and rusticness. I was quite pleased with the ideas I came up with. We got various ones. So a lot of people like the cloth maker. I don't know if you can make out, but the red and blue cloth, they're actually doors.
try to get in there won't be that easy. Oh yeah, I see the doors.
And then next to him was the armourer, which is the more elaborate kind of tent that I went for. We've got some pots and a fishmonger and vegetables. They're just the sort of details I think that you need to bring to life. So you've got the figures kind of walking around and interacting, carts coming through. Just try to give it a sense of a story, so there's more to it than just a model that's static.
How strong is the roof of this one? Because it looks pretty flimsy, doesn't it?
It travels fine. It travels loose. I don't have to pack it or anything. If I hit a big bump and it comes off its mooring, it does tend to then break, but it's quite quick to put back together.
So it depends on your driving ability then.
No, it depends on the standard of our roads at the moment. There's always a speed bump right before you get to a place as well, which is never helpful.
So that's the cemetery, is it?
Yeah, this is a cemetery.
Oh, it's raised.
So this part wasn't actually done with the collab. So this was the first thing I added since the collab happened. So the graveyard and church are all new. I do hope to do some water mills and so the joust and things later. Bring it back again in a few years.
And it's actually the pièce de résistance is the church, isn't it?
It's definitely going down very well. Obviously, it's the newest part as well, so some people have seen the rest of it already, as I think you did as well. It does have a full interior, so you can go around and take the tower off. So the tower comes off. It's very dark, so I've got a torch that will help in a minute as well. But yeah, so we've got a little bit of a communion table at the top, and then in here we'll be able to see down and through. There's a whole lot of pews and things there. And it's really beautiful when you get the light to shine through the stained glass windows. Sadly, most display venues are very dark, or the ceilings are so high like this one that the light doesn't get in very well.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So you said it took you, what, 2 weeks to build the church?
I had 3 weeks left of the first show that the church was going to when I started building it. So I think if you extrapolate out, it's probably about 3 months' work. But I usually build more than one model at a time, so it's quite hard to kind of tie it down to how much time you specifically spend.
Of course.
But then the one I'm working on at the moment is bigger than this one, which will come next year, which is a Native American themed model. And then a Roman one the year after, so 3 years' time, maybe it'll come back with a bigger
You have plans.
expansion.
It's a beautiful model. I like the fact that the details, and you can look everywhere, and there's something going on.
I was pleased with my jugglers.
I just noticed them.
Yeah.
Oh, is that on purpose? That's something. What is
Yes, it's stuck there to be in the air. And then I've got another one that's juggling fire. And I was quite pleased when that minstrel came out, so I popped him in as well. Some people listening to the minstrel down in the corner of the tavern. Yeah, the blue guy. He was one of the collectible minifigures. You've got it on shot, even though you
Oh, right there. Yeah. I couldn't see it.
I'm really.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. That's a lovely, lovely moment.